Britain is an island nation with a proud maritime history, a fact that should be remembered and celebrated. Around the UK, there are some 1,200 registered historic vessels, and many more hidden away up muddy creeks or long forgotten in the corner of a boatyard. If future generations are to enjoy these boats, whether sailing or on display in a museum, it is vital they are preserved. Such conservation work and maintenance requires specific skills, many of which are becoming increasingly difficult to find. In 2008, National Historic Ships, the government-funded body set up to advise on all matters relating to historic ships in the UK, carried out an infrastructure audit to assess the range of skills needed to care for the UK's maritime heritage. Of 109 responses to the survey, it was found that 54.5% of ship owners had experienced difficulty sourcing the skills or facilities they needed to maintain their vessel because specialist knowledge and repair centres were dying out. 22.9% had sourced the materials or skills they required from abroad because they could no longer find what they needed in the UK. In 2010, the Heritage Lottery Fund launched its Skills for the Future programme, and National Historic Ships saw this as a much-needed opportunity to redress the decline in maritime skills. The Waterways Trust is a national charity with a mission to enrich people's lives through the waterways. In July 2012, the Waterways Trust and the National Waterways Museum became part of the Canal and River Trust, the new charity for Britain's waterways and waterways heritage. In partnership with National Historic Ships, a bid was put forward to the Skills for the Future Fund, and the Keeping History Afloat project was born. £110,000 was awarded to the scheme, which offered 3 18-month training placements in boat restoration and shipwright skills, based at the Heritage Boatyard, National Waterways Museum, Ellesmere Port. 52 applications were received for the 3 positions, and the trainees were chosen based on their previous experience of wood and metalwork, as well as their passion for boats. 18 to 25-year-olds were targeted because of a known aging workforce in the maritime heritage sector. The trainees were taught by on-site staff and Boat Museum Society volunteers at the Heritage Boatyard, learning traditional skills such as woodwork and carpentry, signwriting, painting, metalwork, and how to lift and stabilize a historic vessel. They also worked towards a Level 2 NVQ diploma in marine engineering. The trainees were given the opportunity to work on different vessels within the Waterways Trust collection, including the historic narrowboat Mendip, which in her working life carried chocolate crumb from Cadbury's on the Shropshire Union Canal to Bourneville at Birmingham. After restoration work was completed, the trainees were given the opportunity to crew the vessel on a commemorative trip back to the Bourneville headquarters of Cadbury. This gave them an insight into the skills required to handle a vessel of this type. The trainees went on a number of external placements to gain experience working in other environments. A commercial yard at Brinklow Boat Services, a training college at Lyme Regis Boat Building Academy, or a charitable organisation such as the Pioneer Sailing Trust. 10 days spent at the Steamboat Museum in Lake Windermere also inspired them to work on their own projects, with 2 of them building their own small craft. To promote traditional maritime skills and give the trainees an opportunity to meet representatives from across the sector, a networking day was organised to celebrate the end of the first phase of Keeping History Afloat. This brought together for the first time museum-led individuals, vessel owners and trainees, alongside commercial boatyard operators, and made for a great discussion led by a panel of speakers comprising Sarah Dander, Chair, Director, British Marine Federation; Adrian Stone, Conservation Workshop Manager, Windermere Steamboat Museum; Nat Wilson, Director, International Boat Building Training College, Lowestoft; Mark Rolt, Director, the Bristol Classic Boat Company. Paul Spooner, Technical Director, Fairley Yachts Limited. Key themes explored during the day included decline in traditional maritime skills, materials, and facilities, employment and training opportunities for the sector, the impact of the current economic climate on regeneration of maritime skills. The Keeping History Afloat project has already made a significant difference in a number of ways. Vessels that were in poor condition have been restored. After 18 months, the trainees have gained experience and learnt new skills, and one of them has already secured a job working for a traditional boat builder on the East Coast. The project has raised awareness of the decline in skills required to conserve our maritime heritage through the networking day. New contacts have been made and proposals are in place to pilot a shared apprenticeship scheme among some of the yards present that day. 7 new units in historic vessel conservation have been developed and submitted to the awarding body EdXL to accredit them as a BTEC customised short course. Thanks to a grant increase from the Heritage Lottery Fund, a second phase of Keeping History Afloat has been announced, with 3 more trainees to be recruited for the Heritage Boatyard next year.